In last episodes, we saw, after losing his mother, Yoon starts to live with the oldman and also help him with his shop. Both enjoy each other's company and always eat together. Yoon used to manage his oldman's stock of books at his shop and also clean oldman's shop. Together, they formed a family-like bond. Often go for groceries shopping together. Yoon used to play with Chonky in his spare time. During all this, Yoon always have a trauma of demon and used to gather information about existence devils and demons. Yoon work out every day, run daily with Chonky. He wants to gain some powers and strength so that he can take revenge for his mother's death whenever he faces the demon and been able to change his fate, which is destroyed by the demon. Months passed in all this. One day, Yoon with Chonky goes to that place where explosion was happened and he lost his mother. He saw that the entire place was barricaded with wires and an entry prohibition board was also put up there. Yoon with sadness tell himself that it's all cleared from here and kept looking inside the barricading. All of a sudden, Yoon heard a voice. "Do you often come here?" Yoon turns and sees that his oldie was there. Oldman asks Yoon, "So this is where you used to live?" Yoon looked at oldie and replied, "Yes, this was my home. This was the last place where I saw her alive. I miss my mom every day. It's not easy to forget her." Oldman tried to console him by saying, "I can understand. It took me years to get over my wife's death." Yoon speaks again and says all those innocent lives were lost that night, and authorities won't be able to catch the culprit. "Oldman, what if I tell you that it was not a person, but a thing that did all this?" Oldie looks at Yoon in surprise. Yoon kept on talking that the explosion was caused by things I didn't believe could exist. They came here for me to kill me, but my mom did everything to save me. I know that demonic thing is still out there to kill me, and I should be ready for him. After hearing this from Yoon, Oldman stares him in a shocking way and says, "Oh, I get it now, demon." As in a metaphor, right? "Demon or real," Yoon replied. Oldman smiles, thinking Yoon is making up his own story, and asks Yoon to go back home with him. Yoon doesn't want to go home. He wants time to walk his dog, so he asks the old man. Oldman waved his hand and says, "Be careful," and walks alone back to his home. After Oldman leaves, Yoon thinks that he doesn't believe him, but it's also doesn't matter anymore. Yoon tells Chonky that let's go for another walk. After hearing this from Yoon, Chonky grunts. Then Yoon hears a voice coming from behind him and realizes that it is the voice of the demon who was saying, "What's up, kid?" Yoon's face turns pale with fear, and he slowly turns back. He found himself alone on the street with his dog and a cat who was growling at them. Chonky barks. Seeing this, Yoon feels relieved. He says to himself that it's just a cat. Because of the research I'm doing on the demons, I'm seeing things. But I also can't belie the reality that how I lost my mother, I need to find some answers. In next scene, we saw Yoon is working out and doing handstand push-ups. After his workout, Yoon pants and wipes his sweat. When Yoon was doing all this, Oldie came to him and asked that if he can open the shop himself tomorrow, while he need to revisit his doctor for the routine checkup. The boy nodded in yes. Seeing Yoon's chiseled and ripped body, Oldie asked, "Do you work out regularly or are preparing to fight any kind of demon?" Yoon smiles and asks Oldie that he can also join him sometime in his workout. Oldman replies, "I would love to, but maybe next time," and walks back to his room. Both says goodnight to each other. Yoon waited for Oldman to leave. When he finds himself alone, he pulls his drawer and takes out some clothes. He wore those clothes, gloves, knee protectors, and put a baseball bat in his bag. After getting ready, Yoon looks at his wall where he has stuck some notes about his research on demons. Yoon tells himself that for months I have been collecting this information. The news isn't reporting truth for some reasons. I have had to resort to dark web to find what attacked me in the tunnel that night. Yoon knows that people won't believe him about demons, but he wants to find the reason behind the death of innocence so that he can get rid of the demons for good. He wants to be left alone in his quest because he doesn't want to lose any more lives. Yoon silently gets out of his room and checked on the old man to see if he was asleep or not. He heard snoring of Oldie and move away from his room. As Yoon was going down the stairs, he noticed Chonky was awake. Chonky starts barking at Yoon. Yoon tried shush the dog and says, "Please don't wake the old man." He gave a bone to the dog to calm him down. Chonky sat down and starts eating the bone. Yoon sneaks out of the home and closes to main door silently. After leaving his home, Yoon starts to run, telling himself that this time he is ready. If he is the key, then he would lock away the demon forever. In next scene, we saw Yoon has climbed up to a building of that area where demonic cases were occurred. Yun sat down quietly at the edge of the roof and starts noticing any unusual activities happening down on the streets. He has a feeling that this place is somehow related to the demon. After waiting for hours, Yun did not find anything unusual. Yun looks at his hand and wonders for how long he'll have to work out before he can do magical things like his mom. Suddenly, Yun saw a teenage boy of his age walking on the road, which makes him to think that why he was alone at this time of the night. Yun finds it suspicious. The suspicious boy jumped over the barricades, on which a no-entry board was also situated, and walks into an empty building. Yun was observing his activities and wonders that why would anyone enter an abandoned building at night. Yun thought that this boy need to be followed, so he jumps off the roof to a nearby tree and from tree to ground and runs towards the building. The first thing Yun noticed inside the building was that it was in a very bad condition. Yun searches for the boy and walks stealthily. Suddenly, Yun starts feeling cold and nervous. Because of all these things, his doubt turns into belief. Yun sniffs and smells something bad. He saw a door and thinks that this smell is coming from that room. While Yun was busy with his own things, suddenly someone touched him and said, "Hey dude!" Yun shouts out of fear, and he tries to take the bat out of the bag. But after knowing that it was the same boy who he is following has touched him, he controlled himself and said, "You scared the shit out of me, bro." Boy replied, "But you are the one who is following." Yun asked himself, how did this guy sneaks up on him? He was very careful. The boy asked Yun to leave the building for his safety. Yun was upset with himself because the boy came to him and he can't even notice. Yun speaks, "I know that something is off about this place. Smells like something died years ago." Boy tells Yun that the rotten smell was of human flesh and he needs to be quick before it gets dangerous for him. Yun asks with curiosity, "Human flesh?" After hearing Yun's loud voice, the boy tries to shush him by saying, "Dude, please keep it down. It is very vulnerable now, but if you keep making noise, we'll be at our most vulnerable." The boy warned Yun again and asked him to leave the building. Yun asked him, "Is that smelly thing a demon?" Boy turns and asks Yun, "How do you know about first hell entities?" Then the boy tells Yun that, "If I don't exorcism that thing, then it will become a demon." After hearing this from the boy, Yun told him his name and his story that how a demon took his mother's life and destroyed his life. Yun asked him about exorcism. The boy explained him that the moment when you smell rotting flesh is an indication that they are about to transcend into a full demon, and after demonization is done, they must be put down. The boy tells Yun that you've witnessed these things by yourself, so I guess I won't broke any rule by sharing info about hell entities. He unzips his bag and tells Yun he'll be taking part in ancient ritual very soon. Yun asks confusingly about ancient ritual. The boy replies, "It's a trial I have to go through in order to become a shinobi." Yun questioned him, "Can a shinobi do magic, and who is he?" Boy answers, "My name is Shin, and dude, it's not magic. A trained shinobi can manipulate tenchi." Shin takes out a box from his bag saying, "I'm not from here. I heard about a suspicious explosion in this area. Now my brother is investigating it." Shin laughs by saying, "My brother will be proud on me when he gets to know that his little brother has single-handedly saved a civilian. My brother will have no choice but to allow me take part in the trials of shinobi rituals." Yun heard him, so he asks Shin, "Haven't you exorcism a demon before?" Shin replies that he don't know how to manipulate a tenchi. He can't even see the first hell entities unless it possesses someone, and of course it is his first time to exorcism. He is aware of that enchanted musical instrument can break the hold. Yun asked him immediately, "So do you have any instrument now?" Shin answers him, "No, I have no instrument with me. Even if I did, I wouldn't know how to play." Yun becomes angry after hearing this from Shin. Because he has only some info about demons, he doesn't know how to tackle them. He doesn't even seen a demon before. Shin pulls nose plugs from his nose, which are making breathing difficult for him, and now after seeing nose plugs, Yun also understood that why smell wasn't bothering Shin. Shin sniffs and complains about the smell. After saying that he is getting late, Shin starts running toward the door where the smell was coming from and advises Yun to leave. Shin breaks down the door and found that room was empty. There was a paper stuck on the backside of door on which an ancient script was written. As room was breached by Shin, that paper starts burning. The scene now shifts to a samurai who discovers that the seal he had placed on that door has been broken. Shin has no clue about the seal of samurai. He enters in the room. A demonic presence can be seen on the room's ceiling, which Shin did not notice. Shin said to himself, but the smell was coming from this room. While Shin was searching for the demonic creature inside the room, the demonic creature silently exited the room in waves through air. Yun was standing out of the room telling Shin to be careful. Shin shows his concern for Yun and tells him to leave the building. Shin knows he must find this creature as soon as possible, or else it will grow more powerful. All of a sudden, Yun feels something above his head. Before Yun and Shin can figure out what's going on, a demonic woman appears standing right behind Yun. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you liked it, then hit the like button and also subscribe. See you in the next video, and bye-bye.